Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance. And this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Diane. And here's her story. Hi, Ollie. I recently became a subscriber to your channel and want to thank you for helping me get a better understanding of narcissism and reaffirming my decision to go no contact with my ex-boyfriend, Patrick. I had a friend by the name of Joanne that introduced me to my narc boyfriend in July 2007. Patrick and I dated until March 2017, with 2 periods of devaluing and discards. He constantly brought up ex-girlfriends and compared me to them. He said he was friends with all his old girlfriends, searched and recycled some of them on Facebook years later while we were together. Always had lots of female friends whose boyfriends did not care for him, so he said. 4 years into the relationship in 2011, I was discarded right before my birthday for a younger woman half his age. He told me I had it to do with me cutting my hair too short, 2 inches, and that I knew he liked longer hair. I have a thyroid condition and my hair was literally breaking off. He emailed a couple months later begging me to go back as I was the love of his life. I foolishly gave in after 6 months, even after being told by my friend Joanne that he was controlling and abusive. I was friends with Joanne and she encouraged me to date others during that break. Fast forward to 2 years ago, spring 2016, I rented out my house and purchased a lake house, which was a lifelong dream of mine. He was so upset that I bought a home without his permission. Frankly, I didn't involve him as I felt he would be against it and he was struggling in his career and God forbid I have something good happen to me. He began withdrawing and giving me month-long silent treatments. When we would get together with his friends, I had this vibe that they didn't like me. I was suddenly not invited to his family's holidays and was unfriended on Facebook by them. I believe he was running a smear campaign. It just pushed me closer to have my independence and my friendships. He was a master at triangulation. The final devalue and discard began last Christmas. Oh, he loved throwing me away on my birthday or Christmas. Apparently, right before this, he enlisted my so-called friend Joanne to be his flying monkey. They had not spoken in a few years, but he knew we were friends and had a major falling out. She likes to put people down to elevate herself. He also reached out to my ex-husband, and apparently they were joking about how I like to spend money. What's ironic is I was the breadwinner in both those relationships. Funny how his recruits were strategically chosen out of so many of my real friends who know the real me. Anyway, Joanne told him I had dated other people and I had sex with my childhood friend. He confronted me and I had told him I went out with a few guys during our breakup and had my childhood friend come for a visit. Have a friend come visit during his 3-month absence silent treatments discard over the fact I bought a house that he referred to as the white trash lake house. I was physical with my childhood friend, but did not have sex with him. Patrick blew this up to fit his agenda and play the victim without accepting any ownership for his behavior. He was having career and money issues since 2010, so maybe he had to take the spotlight of failure off himself and make me the punching bag. He said he was going to move our relationship forward, and he had put down a deposit for a custom ring, but that was now off the table unless I got rid of my childhood friend and worked on repairing the damage I made to the relationship. He began slut-shaming me. He studies astrology and told me that he shared my birth chart with an astrology class without my permission, and they concluded that I was in love with my childhood friend. Not true, and that I sleep around. Not true. Apparently, narcs do own you, as it seems crazy to me that you can count dating during a breakup as cheating. I was punished as a result and required to sit at home by myself last Christmas, as he said he didn't want me around his family. December 23rd, despite the fact I had spent many previous holidays around his family, December 23rd. So he told her this on December 23rd, despite the fact I had spent many previous holidays with them. I seriously think he was gathering info and stalking me with the flying monkey friend Joanne and my ex-husband, who are both no fans of mine. In March 2017, I asked him where this relationship was headed, as there was no progression despite my attempts to fix the relationship. He told me that I absolutely do nothing for him, to which I told him to F off because the game was over. I was upset and apologized. He got up and left. I called the next day and left a message. I found out he blocked me that day. I got ghosted after 10 years. I went immediately no contact with blocking on all levels. A friend of mine who Patrick friended on Facebook called me mentioning that Patrick posted that his father had died and he was looking for friends to fill his void. It struck me that he had often complained of losing friends because they let him down, and he was trying to recycle them back through sympathy to fill the void. I have been no contact, but had an interesting run-in this past July. I was on the lake with my friend. He had a sister who had a similar narc abuse experience, and she ended up committing suicide. I was aware of Patrick and his flying monkey Joanne that happens to live on my lake too. I have seen her once driving behind me, and when she realized it was me, she braked to slow way down. Wonder why. But getting back to Patrick, my friend and I were on the pontoon boat. I saw Patrick's truck at her house and her boat on the lake with Patrick in it. I immediately laid down so he couldn't see me. He made eye contact with my friend and told my friend what a wonderful night it was. My friend replied, "It certainly is." I kept my eyes closed because of the fear of facing this bully. Patrick got out of the boat at the dock and saw me according to my friend. We were probably 15 feet away, and I ended up sitting up. My face turned bright red, and he was crying quite dramatically. A histrionic meltdown of epic proportions. He kept looking and then turned his back for literally 5 minutes as we were moving away from the dock. My friend stood up and waved, saying, "Good night, Patrick." It was so strange to see Patrick crying. I saw him not as a bully anymore, but as a defeated man. I'm surprised I felt no fear but pity for him. My question is, why the crying when he was the one who devalued and ghosted? He put himself there as we were all made choices, and now he's playing the victim of a made-up story that I was cheating on him the whole time. I still have him blocked, but I hope to God this man never tries to recycle me by showing up years from now like he did the others. My friend that was on the boat said that these individuals fester over time and I should always watch my back. What are your thoughts on this crazy crying behavior? I would appreciate you exposing this narc, Patrick, and his flying monkey friend Joanne, this match made in hell. It's kind of like an early Christmas present to myself. I will never have another Christmas like last year's ever again. Season greetings, Suzanne. Okay. Look. If you think this is a defeated man, you're crazy. All that was guilt. All that crying fit was guilt, maybe some embarrassment being caught with Joanne. You know, I would ask if you bought the house before or after you had the falling out with her. You know, she obviously fell behind because there's obviously something going on with her and Patrick. Clearly. Look, I guess he's like a deadbeat, or he's not pulling his weight, right? You said you had to basically support both men in your life, your ex-husband and this guy. So, you know, when you're a person like that, you got to get by on a lot of pity, a lot of guilt. Okay, some of it, like it's weird that he would just start crying after you sat up in the boat, like because he's caught. Maybe he's caught in his whole lie. But I don't think that's what it is. I think it's always a manipulation. Pity me, poor Patrick. That was a guilt thing on you. So you're supposed to now call him and be hoovered back in. Even though he's at Joanne's house. So yeah, you should be concerned for it. Okay? You should be concerned. And also it could be for Joanne's benefit. Okay, because now if he works himself up and goes back to her and be like, oh, I just saw Suzanne, and she's like, come on. It's all pity. The blubbering narcissist. My father, meet Normus, is a blubberer when he doesn't get his way. When you back him into a corner to a certain, he'll start the blubbering narcissist. They're the worst. It's all pity. Like, I would have been like, are you crying? What are you crying about? What are you crying about standing out here? What are you crying about? Get the hell out of here. Luckily, you're far enough removed where you didn't go running back, but you're pitying somebody who doesn't need pity. That's a red flag. It's an act. The blubbering narcissist is an act. You got to understand that. It's an act. It isn't real. Nothing about them is real. Ever. So, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for your contribution and your story, Suzanne. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to help keep it succeeding, growing, and expanding, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you, all of this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance.